history here. I'd like to get this hearing in today. You know, everybody needs to just focus on the relevant facts, okay? I know there's a history here.
Are you talking up by Sunset Mart? Up the hill by the gas station?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you? All right. Who's responsible here?
What's that?
Who's responsible here? Whose house is this?
Yeah, they haven't been drinking or anything, right?
No.
Okay. Drive careful, okay?
Will do, thank you.
This is the other group that ran away.
Oh, really?
They just did.
Awesome.
Those ones kept walking in the car.
It's truly for the win.
That I was given to. So there was 2 different discs. Okay? They all knew about it.
We're not here to talk about the alcohol stuff, okay?
Okay, yeah.
But this is the second noise complaint we've had here tonight within 2 hours.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Is this your place?
Yeah.
Perfect. You know why we're here?
I see noise.
Noise, yeah.
Yeah.
Big speaker right there.
Yeah.
Nothing against having a party. Once neighbors start calling in, then we have an issue.
Like brains, and like if you need a lot of brains, you're gonna be in trouble.
Okay, what is up, guys? Welcome to the transparency. Mind your business. I'm working on my lungs over here. Actually, things are a lot better. Grab your cup. Come on in. Come on in. Sit down. Cheers. What can I say, guys? The pussycat loves me. What is up? All the mods in chat love it. I haven't seen you guys in a while. Let's see what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about Ohio passed issue 2. So Ohio will be able to give away all the marijuana at once, sell the shit out of that marijuana. No more Black people are going to get profiled for they see me rolling. So no more profiling for weed coming from your car. Hopefully that'll help our African-American community out. Yeah, so Ohio passed issue 2, landslide. So in case you guys cared. Sheldon Jeter Jr. In Pennsylvania, we had a big poll yesterday with the district attorney. DA Lozier is motherfucking out, bitches. Boom. That rat bastard tried to hit me up on some Trump charges for wiretapping. Then he wrote an email. It wasn't supposed to come to me. He replied all like a fucking idiot. And I got the email and he's like, oh man, we can't get her on the wiretapping, PA wiretapping laws. Maybe we can get her on trespassing. Come on now. Well, you ain't got to get me on shit. Get your ass up out. You done lost. Fucking amazing last night when I got that call. Boom. This man has had a target on Sheldon Jeter Jr.'s back since before actually Rachel Del Hondo was murdered, if you ask me. But it's gonna be fucking glorious. So peace out, motherfucker. He tried to use Rachel Del Hondo's murder to get votes. He also tried to tell the world, Beaver County specifically, that all of his police officers were going to be equipped with body cams, and I about fucking died. Anyways, Nate Bible, congratulations. Stand up job. Okay, move away. No pussycat love today. Go ahead. Move. Go. But Nate Bible won. I think it was like 650 votes. So it was a close race. But he did win. And I fucking love it. I absolutely fucking love it. You racist bastard. Peace. I'll give you a nice little going away live to show how racist you are, Theologian. Back in the day. But anyways, Nate ran a up and up campaign, and kudos to him, and kudos to the voters. People got out and voted. 40% to 44% of the population voted in Beaver, which was up from 36%. So that's the difference. Otherwise, if that wouldn't have happened, Theologian would have won. So Aliquippa, the surrounding areas that make up Beaver County, kudos to all of you guys. Seriously. You have to vote local if you really want to see change. And, you know, people say, oh, go out and vote for your president. Man, fuck all that. Vote local. It starts local. These people that end up getting in these huge, big power positions, it's because they start somewhere and they start local. So please get out there and vote local. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. I am a pretty real motherfucker. All right, so I wanted to talk about those two things. Ohio, I'm going to be your biggest drug dealer, legal drug dealer, so look out. Oh, shit. Just kidding, guys. I don't know anything about drugs. I don't even do drugs. Shit, if I was to take a hit off of weed, I'd seriously, probably die. But anyways, maybe that's why I'd make a great drug dealer, because I wouldn't do my own product. I would just run it like a boss bitch. What else I want to say before we get into this lovely episode? Oh God, my hype man. I'm doing back-to-back lives this morning. It's like an hour and 15 minutes for each, all the different segments. And I just have to say, make sure you stick around for my hype man video. It was a quiet victory. That's how we wanted it. I didn't say shit. I just did what I was supposed to do. Nate had the police backing. Oh, it's going to be so good. The stuff that's about to happen in Beaver. So I'm really happy for Beaver. That's what I told Davon Cox too. I said, just hang tight. We need to get a different DA in there. And we did. Now we can do some things. Now you're asking a different district attorney to look at and, reconsideration. So Nate Bible is just, it's a huge victory for what my purpose is in Beaver. Okay, so my hype man goes to, oh shit balls. My hype man award, legit, my hype man is, without a doubt, Richard Allen's attorney. I want to marry. So if he's watching, will you marry me? Andrew Baldwin. Let me show you what I mean. He is Richard Allen's defense attorney from Delphi. I'm gonna also be talking about Jose Baez because he's back in the game. Let me show you what I want to say to this man. Here we go.
Point we're gonna probably be able to draw a conclusion about where we are with that.
You guys plan to ask for bail to be granted?
Well, we have a bail hearing set. We're going to use that.
State has a burden at that hearing, February 17th. So we'll be ready to roll. We'll be asking for him to be released.
You think you got a solid chance?
I think these are difficult things to win. We won one fairly recently in a different county, and so it is not impossible, but the odds are stacked against you the way the law is set up. But the state has they have certain burdens to meet, and we shall see if they are going to be able to meet those burdens.
When that discovery lands on your desk and you two guys are sitting there, what's going to be the first thing you're going to flip through and say, we need to look at this thing very first?
I think those are the areas that the judge does not want us to comment on.
Boom, bitch.
You heard her say in court, this is voluminous, and it is voluminous, and thousands is not even, that's probably a way underestimation of where we're at, and we've been told there's even more discovery coming. So
Talk about just quickly how a logistical undertaking, a change of venue is to have to go to a whole nother county somewhere.
My man right there. Boom. Oh my God, this pussycat, man. What do you want? What do you want? You want me to hold you? I'm allergic to you. Moving on. Right there, I think this is exactly what the judge doesn't want us to talk about. What's the first thing you're going to do when you get this discovery? We're going to fucking make a 136-page motion. Frank's hearing. Bitch, going to take us 9 months, but we're going to get there. This was the first thing that he came out and said right here. And total class. Then fast forward to all this crazy stuff happening in the Delphi case. This man is just advocating like a son of a bitch, like for his client. He's like, dude, my client is innocent, number one. Number two, y'all are crooked as fuck. And I'm just going to do it all legal. I'm going to use my brains. We're going to put together this bomb-ass motion with bomb-ass exhibits. And we're going to depo the fuck out of these people. And we're going to do our job. And our job got us fired. Indiana, what the fuck? But how about this? He gets interviewed, not really interviewed, but he's walking out of the courtroom and he says, hey, journalists, it's time to start doing some journalism. And that got me hyped up. Let me show you. Because I felt like he was talking straight to me.
Fort Wayne Judge Fran Gull off the case against Richard Allen. Thanks for joining us first at 4. I'm Nick McGill.
And I'm Aaliyah Blackburn. This is just the latest turn in the attempt to bring the man accused of killing Abby Williams and Libby German in 2017 to justice. Fox 59's Russ McQuaid has been on this investigation from the very start and just poured over this latest finding, Russ.
And good afternoon. This writ of mandamus was filed by 2 attorneys this morning. They're not directly related to the case against Richard Allen, but they are alleging that Judge Fran Gull has run roughshod over Allen's constitutional rights, and for that reason, she needs to be replaced. Judge Gull was brought in to bring some stability to the case against Richard Allen, arrested 5.5 years ago after the bodies of Abby Williams and Libby German were found dead of stab wounds in a wooded area near the Monon High Bridge outside of Delphi. Allen's original defense team of Andrew Baldwin and Bradley Rosie ran into conflict with Judge Gull when they listed what they admit was their zealous defense of Allen and a couple of inadvertent evidence leaks, the most recent one in late September, which distributed crime scene photographs to social media posters and led to one leaker's suicide. Gull said she found the attorneys grossly negligent and ordered them off the case. Now other attorneys have petitioned the Supreme Court to reinstate Baldwin and Rosie immediately in order to protect Allen's constitutional rights to a speedy trial. They want Judge Gull replaced for her alleged prejudice and bias toward Allen, and they also want the release of transcripts of a behind-closed-door meeting with the judge and the lawyers in Fort Wayne last month. That's where she allegedly threatened to ruin the professional reputations of the attorneys by detailing what she believed was their gross negligence in open court. A public defender not connected to the case says Richard Allen and whichever attorneys represent him would have a good argument before the Supreme Court.
The fact that there was no evidentiary hearing, no sufficient notice, no real opportunity to be heard.
Damn it. Well, scrap all of them, everything that I just said right there. Just scrap it all. Anyways, the point is that there you go. That's not this guy. He's not my spirit animal. He's my spirit animal right here. Mr. Baldwin.
Open court. A public defender not connected to the case says Richard Allen and whichever attorneys represent him.
Right there. He told the media, hey, journalists, start doing some journalism because here you go. Here's your chance to make a difference. So, by the way, Kelly just gave you guys 20 memberships. So I don't even know. Kelly is just, it's fucking Black Friday over here. That's awesome. I can read lips. There you go. I am a pussy magnet. That was my Halloween costume, was a pussy magnet. But okay, moving on. I should not be muted anymore. What you guys are here for? Again, I just wanted to talk to you guys, get some house cleaning out of the way. Housekeeping, house cleaning, it's all the same thing, right? Let's do this. Ready? What the hell is going on in Idaho? Well, I have documentation, first of all, from another case where they specifically asked that the like, why are these images taking so long? It doesn't take that long. You guys can just scan stuff. You guys have the capability of doing that. And in fact, the judge ruled and said, yeah, all that stuff can go back to the defendant and his family within the next 7 days. And it had to do with taking computers and scanning all those and as well as taking pictures, but so the FBI going in the house, they've had all these months. It has nothing to do with, oh, well, since the trial got pushed back, you've had from January when you arrest the dude until now, and you're going in now. I mean, I hope that they wore body cams. Maybe they were stuffing it with insulin too. But so moving on from that, the G's, it's called the G string, nothing but a G string, nothing but a G thing. Recently it's come out that, obviously, if you guys don't know, now you might know that Kaylee's dad had a child with another mom, like another woman. She took to social media. She's taken to social media a couple different times, but recently she basically said, hey, you abandoned your daughter, meaning her, this woman, and your grandkid. And she just like went out there and put this shit on blast. I don't know if you guys have seen it. So I thought it was very interesting. You know, Mr. Goncalves likes to keep his house tight and clean. And so how does that happen? How are you allowing your daughter to possibly go out and make a post like this? How does that happen? So with that said, back in the day when I was investigating this case, I mean, I looked into every single family. I looked into, because it's victimology, you look into everything. And something that I want to bring to everybody's attention is that I wasn't going to talk about it, but maybe it's worth talking about because you never know what could be someone's motive to do wild and crazy shit. But something that was interesting to me was Kaylee's older sister. I always wondered, you know, she was living in California. I get it with technology. You can like look at Ring cameras and just send me something, email it to me. But she was talking about how she physically was like inspecting Jack D. You know, he had no visible cuts and scratches and blah, blah, blah. But also just like that she worked with Jack D on the case, you know, getting stuff together, going through all of her text messages and phone calls and stuff like that. And again, you can do all of that stuff, you know, in a different state. 100, it's technology, it's what it is. But I was always just questioning this whole timeline on when everybody knew about stuff. And then when did people really drive down, you know, to campus? Did anybody ever drive down to campus? Chrissy just recently was interviewed and she said that she had never been in that house. And I thought that was interesting, which means that they didn't go down there for, you know, parents' weekend. She'd never been in that house. Maddie lived there the year before. They were never down there. They were never over there. And you know, for me, my mom could say that she was in my house, my college house, at least once a year, you know, at the very minimum, at least once a year. But definitely, I mean, more, but I can say on the safe side that at least once a year. And I lived in the same house after I was in the dorms. I lived in the same house. Who the fuck wants to keep moving? That sucks. So, but I was digging into like just to find out, because I had found out that Kaylee had a different address, and she was using the same address as like her sister during school time. And I'm like, well, why isn't she using one of the addresses? Like when I got my hands on the Walmart receipt of that incident, and she put that she lived at 1122 King. And Kaylee didn't live there, and she used that address. That's kind of weird. So I thought that, it was interesting that Kaylee used her sister's address out in Coeur d'Alene. So then I researched all the addresses that Kaylee's sister lived in, because I wanted to see, who their friends were growing up, what type of stuff were they interested in, sports, drugs. I mean, what kind of kids were they? And so I saw that during COVID, Kaylee had switched her address, and she was using her sister's address over there at Mill Street. And it was like a duplex house. And at that house, Kaylee's sister Olivia had her 2 children there, but also her 2 children, they would not be from the father of her recent baby. So Olivia's baby daddy, for the 2 kids, they have a different dad. Olivia was in Hayden a lot with her baby daddy, her boyfriend at the time, and his family. She spent a lot of time over there because I went through all of like the public posts. And his family was very involved in the kids' lives, in their grandkids' lives, like, grandparents should be. Honestly, way more so than I saw nothing but pictures then I went to the kids' parents page, and all they did was rave about these 2, beautiful babies. And they were always over there, and they had pictures of Olivia and then the dad, and, but it was extensive. Okay. And, something that I noticed by just researching, and I don't know the reason why, because I'm not in their lives, but I can put things together. All of a sudden, Olivia decides to take herself and her 2 kids and move from Idaho and move to California. And she takes the kids and basically is going to relocate. She's not married to this guy, but he is the father of her 2 children. The grandparents on that side seem to be heavily involved in helping out and loving and being involved with the kids. And then here she is able to, I don't know if she's able, if she just did it, but she goes to California and starts dating the guy that she ends up marrying. Okay. Now, again, I don't know if her baby daddy was mixed up in, drugs or, things like that. I don't know. But something that I can tell you that would bother me and would bother most families is, oh my God, wait, what do you mean you're moving I see my grandkids all the time. I'm helping you raise the kids. I'm with them all the time. Wait, what do you mean you're moving to California? You're going to take the kids? And think of it from a dad's standpoint to say, wait, what? I get that we broke up or whatever, but what do you mean you're moving to California and you're going to take my children there? But that ends up happening. And then what ends up happening is that Olivia's boyfriend, who becomes now her husband, he's a more, visible and trying to be like a father figure to the kids. And here it's like the kids have a dad, they have loving grandparents. I mean, I get it that social media can, paint whatever, and it can actually not be what it is. And you can make it just seem like it's, all greatness or something like that. But I was able to see consistency from the Facebook post with like the grandparents. It was consistent that those kids were being watched by those grandparents. And then I saw, like, once she moved, a total, like, and this was just 2021. So it was like a year before the murders. And I thought to myself, I hope for the sake of everybody involved that it was in the best interest of everybody. But I know from being a parent, the thought of having your kids just up and just being able to move into a different state in like 10 hours, 12 hours away, just wow. And then somebody trying to come in and fill the shoes that you were perfectly, your family was filling. That's your role. And to be able to see that on social media like that, I think that would crush somebody. But what it kind of did for me is I then looked into like the other sisters, and all these Goncalveses were having kids very, very young. So I believe that they were sexually active, and that they're promiscuous, because I'm sorry, but if you're having sex at a young age, and you're getting pregnant, I think all those kids are fertile myrtle, so they might want to use birth control. Very easily able to get pregnant, but they have a lot of grandkids, and their kids are really young. But so when I saw the post that her sister, Kaylee's biological sister, half sister, made, and it was really like just wow, like it was a big old slam to the G's. I mean, to honestly, like, Mr. Goncalves. And there's always two sides to every story. But at the end of the day, that's someone's feelings, and that's your daughter. And it paints a pretty big different picture when someone's basically saying that they are being abandoned, and you have a chance to have a relationship. You're choosing not to have a relationship. Like Kaylee, like that wasn't a choice. You chose to abandon me once and a grandkid, and then now it all of a sudden happened again since Kaylee's passing, I guess. But again, there's always two sides to every story. But I will tell you this. I feel that there's a lot of competition in that family. And I went and read the Olivia's baby daddy's parents page when the past, like when Kaylee had been murdered, and somebody said, "Oh, don't you know them?" And it's a very interesting reply. And it's like, wait, what do you mean, don't you know that? That's like, that's your grandkid's aunt. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean, don't you know them? Like, that's blood, So I just think that there's a lot of G dynamics going on in the background. And Moon says this topic hits home. I think it's hard. I think it's hard to see that and to read that this girl's like, I'm your secret. You abandoned me. You abandoned your granddaughter, and now it like kind of happened all over again. And I just couldn't imagine what she feels like. But then I started thinking about the choices that Olivia made to, just take her kids and go to California. I'm just like, I just maybe sense a lot of selfishness. These are actions of selfish people. So say whatever, but I'm just looking at it from a standpoint of like, I would never think that I could ever uproot my child or children and just like peace out and think that the other person doesn't have, the dad, the other parent doesn't have a say like that. And like, how did that even happen? Like, did they ever fight that on that? Like, I'm telling you guys, go look at those pictures. And all I see is those grandkids are always with that dad's parents. Those grandparents love the fuck out of those kids. And like, we're raising those kids. And I just couldn't imagine that. Super sad. And then to see what I saw, I was like, you know what? I want to kind of talk about it. Because it's victimology, you don't know what type of like influence the parents had over Olivia leaving with her kids. Who knows? Maybe there's maybe that baby daddy went crazy. He was like, okay, well, you helped your daughter take my kids away from me, so I'm going to go take away your kid. You just never know. That's what victimology is all about. But like when you keep secrets and you hide things and you don't talk about things and you don't know who could be the perpetrator, that's what it is. So I was just looking at every angle to be like, who would want to hurt, any of these people? And if, you just have to look at everything. And I'm sure that her dad and her mom, meaning Mr. and Mrs. G, had a talk with her daughter before she was just going to uproot and move from Idaho to California, So again, there's no judgment here. It's more just talking about the dynamics of everything, like truly what's going on. And Mr. G said it best himself. He said, hey, I know that there's going to be skeletons that come out of our closet when all this is said and done. So he's prepared and he has no problem with it. And he said, we're going to get drugged through the mud. I don't know what he's referring to. I'm not Mr. G. I will always have nothing but respect for him. We can disagree on things. You can disagree with anybody in life. You can still respect them. But when you don't know somebody, how do you don't like somebody or something? Like, I can just disagree with their point of views and their opinions, but I just know if I'd be asking a bunch of questions. And I think that when Christy said out loud that she had never been in that house, I kind of was just like, whoa. Like, it was just parents' weekend the weekend before, like that's senior year, you know what I mean? What about the year before? Had they been to any of her houses down there? Did they ever go down there? I don't know. But I kind of find that hard to believe. No, I believe it that she said it, but she only said that it was her that's ever been there. So I'm curious, is, her dad been there? But how would they know what bedroom is hers? How would they know what her bedroom looks like? You know what I mean? Like when you hear that no one's ever been there, like my mom's been to my home in college and, or if she's gonna be like, well, I was on FaceTime with her all the time and this is how it was set up. And, but I just think when you're not honest about the situations that are going on in people's lives, then you can't truly get to the truth. They said that the whole time that we interviewed all these people, we were looking into Kaylee having a stalker. her own parents said if Kaylee had a stalker, she would have told us. Then they come out and arrest Brian Kohlberger and say that he's stalking. You guys all get that? Like, that's just wild ass shit right there. Like, who the fuck is going to believe that? Well, they just lie to us all the time, so why wouldn't we believe it? People ask me all the time, who would I want to interview if I had the opportunity? And it's Jack DeCour. You know why? Because Jack DeCour legit has never spoke, right? And has only like kind of just, you know, you hear from the parents saying, oh God, no, yeah, Kaylee wanted a break or whatever, but she was like, there's only going to be one Jack. And blah, blah. I want to hear what Jack has to say about their relationship from like the beginning of not just his relationship with Kaylee. I want to know his relationship with her sisters. I want to know his relationship with her parents. I want to know what he thinks of her parents. I want to know what Kaylee would say to him about her parents. Jack DeCour didn't answer his phone how many times, and he was not sleeping. I want to know why you didn't pick up that phone. The truth. What was the truth behind it? Because it wasn't that you were sleeping, right? So why didn't you pick it up? Why? Well, because we're just going to argue. It's the same thing over every fucking night. It's like, you know, I catch her in lies and then she tries to talk her way out of it and I didn't want to hear about it again. You know, like, you know, I catch her, you know, hanging, like, Maddie told me some stuff and then she's going to go to Austin earlier. So she was like moving out. I just didn't want to hear the lies anymore. You know, that's what happens. Like, I get the truth and then she twists it. You know, what would he have said? What is he going to say? But, you know, what was his understanding of Austin? What was his understanding of her job? When did she get that job? Who would she report to? Who did she talk to? Did he ever catch her cheating? Did she have OnlyFans? But what's his truth? What's his, I hate to use the word like what's his truth? What's his perception of their relationship, of their dynamic from day one to day now? Where did he think she was working, you know, with the coffee? Where does he think she was living? When did he think she moved out? Did he help her move out? Was all of her stuff in there? When's the last time he was intimate with Kaylee? When's the last time he was actually in her bedroom there? But why? Why didn't you answer? I don't believe that Jack D is involved in anything. Not at all. I personally just think that he didn't answer because of what I just kind of said. Like, you know, no, I'm not coming over there, and no, I don't want to hear any more of like, you know, whatever Maddie told fucking Adam, and just like, I'm good. I don't want to, you know, brushing it over or anything like that. Like, I'm just not in the mood. But he definitely wasn't sleeping right. You know, put yourself in these shoes. Okay, so I wasn't ever going to talk about this, but like I said, I want to talk about it because I think it matters. I think it just goes like the whole, okay. So when I'm deep diving on all, the victimology, like who's parent, what do they do for a living, all these things. Do they have social media? How do they interact on social media? How's their relate? Like, what are their posts like? So I get to Steve's Facebook, okay? And me and Bella have had numerous conversations about this. Bella, by the way, loves Steve, thinks that he's a family guy, and like, boom, Steve. And I'm a Steve supporter. I think that me and Steve are probably way more alike, than I would ever admit. But something that I thought was, wow, I looked at his Facebook page and I'm like, oh my God, this man has his shirt off in his back, flexing. And then he's got his wife's boobs as his like cover page. And I'm like, and I'm kind of like, dude, what the fuck? Like, think about it. Like, if I was his daughter, I'd be like, Dad, my friends are seeing this, and you have a picture with your shirt off and your back muscles. Then you have like mom's cleave on like the cover page. Like, what's like, come on. You know what I mean? Do you guys not know this? Yeah. So I'm over here just like, I was just like, whoa, what's going on? And then I'm thinking, oh my God, if I'm Christy, I'd be like, what the fuck, Steve? Like, take that shit down, And so I was reading some stuff, and I think she did make a comment about it and said something like, basically like, what the hell's wrong with you or something like that. But like, how kids get, come on, every kid's gonna be like, because it's gonna go one way or the other. Either people are gonna be like, oh my God, your dad is so hot, Kaylee. Like, oh my God, my teeth sweat. And the kids gonna be like, Dad, like, because you guys know, oh, so Kaylee has a bunch of friends over to swim and they're all in bikinis, and they're just like, oh, Mr. G, hey. And Mr. G's just flexing for Facebook. And then Christy's like, guys, do you want any margaritas? And then he's taking pictures of her breasts. And then it's just like a woo, come on, Mr. G. But no, this is seriously what you have to think about. Like, you have a teenage daughter that goes into being a college, and then here you see her pictures and she's, bombshell and rocking it. And just the family's just rocking these pictures on social media. But so I was just like, and then Kaylee's parents were like, Kaylee tells us everything. And I'm thinking, well, then you guys must be some down parents, because there's no way. Like, I mean, I was close with my parents, but I wasn't telling my parents everything I did. Like, they don't need to know everything I did. They knew a lot. Don't get me wrong. They knew a lot. Shit, for my 21st birthday, my dad bought me a limo, came down, took me and my roommates out. And, but there's just certain things, like, I'm not going to be like, oh, hey, Dad, guess what I did last night? You're never going to believe this. But I got so hammered that I went home with the baseball pitcher. And then, like, I just realized that, oh my God, I have a boyfriend. Like, what am I thinking? But, oh, who cares? Have a good night. Like, what? No. So I don't think that every kid tells their parents everything. Now, maybe some of the stuff wouldn't matter, but I just look at Mr. and Mrs. G, and then I had to look at Mr. and Mrs. G's text message with their younger kid, who she was like, oh my God, hey, I'm making money on TikTok. And so, and he writes her back and it's like, oh my God, baby doll or baby girl, I'm so proud of you for working to make money for your family. And I'm like, TikTok doesn't pay dick, number one. Number two, she doesn't have any followers. There can't be any money there. But, you know, he's just like, oh my God, that's so great. I'd be like, go get a job, girl. A job. If I told my dad I was a TikToker back at that age, my dad would have laughed at me. My dad would have said, like, okay, let me see your paychecks. He would have been like, yeah, no. So I'm just trying to understand like the whole, like, okay, yeah, you can support your kids. You can be like, yeah, rah, rah, go get them. But like, you also have to be like a realist, and God bless the girl, but there's the people that make money on TikTok. Like, I remember when I first started a YouTube channel, someone was like, why don't you do TikTok? I'm like, I don't even know how to fucking do YouTube, let alone TikTok. So, but then I talked to, I think it was Allie Erickson, and she was like, oh my God, I have all these followers. And I'm like, why the fuck do you do it? Like, you know what I mean? I would never make a video for 13 cents. I'd just make a video for no money versus 13 cents, because I'd be like, the fuck out of here. I'd rather make no money. 13 cents. That's a slap in the dick. You guys, I am on a retreat, y'all. I am on a retreat. I have so many animals around me. I'm embracing my inter-animal kingdom. Yeah, my dog is hearing the dog. You guys, does my background look different? I'm not at home. I'm touring. I'm out on tour. I'm touring all the local. I'm going to go to Modesto today. I'm going to go see Scott Peterson's house. Modesto, California. Speaking of which, I want some more tea. So you guys want some more tea? Speaking of tea, thank you there, Alicia Rogers. Thank you there, Kelly. How about I want to go to the callers here, fresh out the line. I went to a book signing tour. Yep, without a book. I'll sign your book. So what kind of questions do you guys have? But this is all about, you know, the dynamics of family. I think it would probably fucking kill me inside if I was the daughter that he abandoned and he's doing all of this for Kaylee. And I'm just like, motherfucker didn't even want me. Or my grandkid. Like, I don't know. But to air that all out on social media, I would think that a lot had to come to that. I mean, come on. Or that's how bad she needs attention. Think about it. People do fucking sick ass shit for attention, man. All you crazy broads, man, the attention. Fuck, Jesus. You know who wants attention so bad? That damn Gina girl. Gina's a fucking nut. In here, acting like a fool. It could be tea time at Truth and Transparency. Yep, 100%. There's definitely got to be a story behind that. Yeah, I can understand her sadness. Yeah, it's super sad. You told us that you were on a tour. I am on a tour. Jack D family. Well, Jack D's family, if you guys remember, wanted to start a GoFundMe to keep the fucking car. That's all I know about Jack D's family. And I mean, I deep dived his dad. I thought his dad had some money. They had some California properties. I don't know what all these Californians come to Idaho for. I mean, why the fuck would you leave California to come to Idaho? I don't know. Maybe people just leave you alone. Really, Lana? Bye. Miss Stevie Golden? I don't even know. I don't know. Yeah, really bad timing. stop in and get a bagel. Yeah, you guys know I'm doing I'm trying to get my trying to solve a Hawaii case. Fuck IGG. California politics for one is why you move. It's cheaper to live there. I have cousins who moved to Idaho and a few friends. There you go. Yeah, so all I know about Jack D's family is that they wanted to start a GoFundMe for the car. So people don't think straight after losing a child. My grandmother lost 2 children. Yeah, that's horrible. I'm sorry. I would just think that hopefully Mr. G goes to his daughter. And I mean, I know that Bella is probably the one that's saying right now, Mr. G probably already talked to her and wants to fix that immediately, if that's how, she's feeling. And I said, good for him then. Hey, I'm just keeping it real. Like I said, I love Steve. It's just, that kind of came out, and I thought what was more interesting is that Olivia moving to California. Her husband, though, he was working in like Hollywood or doing something with movies or something. Oh, I'm a super great stepmom, I'm told. There you go. Ethics matter. Hell yeah. Will you marry me? Oh, you're behind. Fast forward, mother. I love Steve. He's a great father. He's just lost. Who would ever be? How could you ever say that you're going to be in that type of situation? I don't think that there's. I will say something that I think is interesting, because I kind of agree with him, and I didn't think I would. He's talking about Brian Colbert needs a death penalty, or whoever did this needs a death penalty, because from inside prison he could still communicate with people and help people and teach people how to be like a slime ball or whatever. I never thought about it like that. Just because I don't believe that we have to kill people, if we say it's wrong, we shouldn't just go around killing people. I think that let them live in fucking hell in prison for 50 years. Like, I mean, who wants to live in fucking jail? Get the fuck out of here. I just wouldn't want it on my conscience either. Like, I don't need to go kill you because God will handle you. And then God forbid if it's the wrong person, but you can just be in jail and deal with those thugs. But it's interesting when he was talking about that they have connections to the outside, world, and he could communicate with people and infiltrate his bad ways. And it made me listen a little bit. Not that I would kill him, but it made me understand that, well, maybe that he shouldn't be communicating with, the outside world. Maybe it should just be immediate family that he can communicate with. I don't know. Why do we have to show them humanity when they don't have any? I think it's about yourself. Don't cheat yourself. If you would never do something like that, why would you make somebody that's shitty make you be something that you're not? That's how I look at it. I would never want to become something that I'm not because somebody is shitty. Then they win. You know the movie The Dark Knight? I think it's The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight Rises. When they're on the two boats and they have the bomb, they could just hit the detonator and it will blow up the people that were like all the criminals. And it's like one of these people, one of these boats, you're going to decide who is going to hit this detonator. Okay. And you got the criminals on one boat and you got, you know, the law-abiding citizens on the other boat. And I think that's the movie. And on that movie, nobody hits the detonator. It's just like, well, hey, they're like, let's hit it because then it was basically like, then the rumor was the way the Joker had set it up is that they're both going to die. And so people were like fighting over it. And then it came down to the guys like, okay, here, no, I'll do it. And then he couldn't do it. And then, you know, obviously nobody's boat blew up, but what the Joker wanted you to do is he wanted you to do it. The Joker wasn't going to kill anybody, but played on your, you know, fears and, you know, then your mindset of like, well, they're the ones that are criminals. We can kill them, you know? I just think that, I know people say you don't know how you'd feel if it was your kid or, you know, your loved one. I do though, because I know myself. There's nothing that's going to bring back my kid. There's nothing that's going to bring back them. And I don't want to lose any more of myself than I've already lost. And by killing that person, I will lose anything that's left of me. That's how I would feel. That's the truth in my heart. And I would never give that to you. You've already taken enough. There's no way I'm going to give that to you. You know, I would want the whole truth. And I'd want everybody involved. Nobody's walking, no deals. We're not dealing with the devil. But we're not going to go kill people. We don't need to. But then again, I think what people owe the Goncalveses and the rest of the families is the truth. And I think that they've been lied to. And I think that if they would have had the truth from the jump, they wouldn't be feeling the way they feel right now. You know what would piss me off, I think, even more than anything? Whoever killed my kid is a piece of shit, right? But you're the cops, you're the law enforcement, and you're lying to me. But now who's the bigger piece of shit? Like, my kid just was fucking murdered, and you have the balls to lie to me. Fuck you. Like, fuck you, dude. That's what I think is the bigger piece of shit. I know that sounds crazy, but like, you're supposed to be this upstanding fucking citizen. You're supposed to be this out of this world character, moral, fucking everything. And fuck you. You lied to me while I'm grieving my child's loss, that murder. Fuck you. So that's where my anger would be. I'd want the truth. I'd want it all. And I would, if you suppress anything, we're going to have a huge problem. Nobody walks. How did Brian Kohlberger or anybody know where everybody was and that everybody was separated and where they needed to be able to have that murder done in 8 minutes? Think about that. No hiccups, no DNA. Well, there is, but we didn't test that. And then just a sheath left behind that nobody sees on body cam. I'm saying if it was me, I would fucking be like, I want to see the proof. I want to see the crime scene. I want to see it all because everything that happened that night, how the fuck did this happen? How the fuck are those other girls alive? And how the fuck did they not call 911? I have answers and I want them answered. But I'll be live again. We're moving on. I have Jose Baez today, and I have Richard Allen, my boy, right there. Andy Baldwin. But I'll take you guys on a field trip. Modesto. Let's go to Modesto. I want to go see, I want to go talk to the neighbors of Scott Peterson and Lacey Peterson. I want to see who's still around. But thank you guys for being so kind in chat. Thank you, mods. Do me a favor, thumbs up the video, thumbs down the video. You guys have an opinion, make yourself known. Use the comment section. Talk about whatever you want. Be polite about it. Be respectful. And please do not take this the wrong way. This is in no way, shape, or form bashing anybody. The Goncalves is anybody. This is just, you know, what you see is what you see, and I'll be the first people to defend those people as well when I see something that wouldn't be right. But if we want the right person, we have to know the truth. And if Brian Colbert is the right person, then speak the truth. Put out stuff that, you know, backs that. And right now, I just don't see that. But again, if he's a psycho fucking son of a bitch and had this plotted and all this stuff, there should be all these paper trails that will lead back to Brian Colbert. So, but if not, you just can't go making shit up. You can't go framing people. Peace out, Girl Scouts. It's November 29th. 4 people that were murdered, and you want to fuck around. You got 8 families that are being affected by this, and they just mean nobody from the university.
Shock value. And so what he did was he had taken pictures California.
Oh, you're from I would be outraged if I live in Moscow right now. I'd be lighting some cars on fire out there. I'd be flipping some cars. I'd get the frats going wild with me. Let's get some noise complaints going.